Hello. Finally making a video with another Play-Doh generic. Beautiful dough. Play-Doh imitation dough. So, I want to make a red astronaut for ET Spaceship 9 Stargate Galactica. And then I make one more at the other house in white. I will make a cow for Stargate Galactica at the other house. And then I'm gonna buy another package of 4 more. And I'm gonna have them here, and I'm gonna be making 4 animals for another artwork, and that one is called The Animal Sanctuary. I already started that project in the garage here at this house, but it's been always too chilly to work in the garage, so I'm gonna take all of that with me to the other house, put it in the greenhouse where it's warmer, and then I'm going to work on the animal sanctuary as well, and I'm going to be installing 4 animals on it. It's another cardboard box, like about the size of a shoebox. And I already installed styrofoam foam type of material on it that will be painted green, like greenery and shrubs and trees. And then I'm gonna put a cow, a horse, a pig, and a dog on it. That's gonna be awesome. And I want to install it with something like with a screw or something. That screw and liquid nails, both, so that they don't fall off when I hang them up on the wall. That would be good. Because I don't even know where to put all of that stuff anymore. I'm gonna have to hang it on the wall. I have no other choice. Yeah, this one, ET Spaceship 1, has to stay here. Right there on the window board, with the park next to it. And those, they have a whole lot of figures on there, including Elon Musk and his bodyguards and 2 basset hounds and Donald Trump and many other figures that it has. But we have absolutely no space at the other house for this, so it's gonna have to stay here. It will come with the house. So whoever buys the house will have a lot of my artworks, including all the artwork in the staircase, where really most of my artwork is. 2 wall-size paintings, actually 3 wall-size paintings, and a whole lot of painted cardboard boxes and styrofoam packaging material, artwork and stuff like that. Lots of stuff. And also Pero coffee and Cafix containers that I painted, that are all up there. So, and it looks good. It looks very, very nice. Yes, it's nice. Oh yeah. Awesome. So I'm gonna put this blanket on the baby dog. There you go. Okay, did she go to dog? Oh yeah, we're making a video. Yes, making a video with the baby dog. Oh yeah, it is always nice. There are a lot of things that I was thinking about for the last couple of weeks at night, and when I wake up. I woke up today very angry. I went outside, sat with Paul in the sun, and ranted. And he kept on saying, "Don't talk so loud, the neighbors are gonna hear." So we don't want the neighbors to know our world view and all of that. Yes, that's correct. That's cool. That would not be a good idea. No. Because they are very right-wing Republicans, and I am not a Republican, and I am not a Democrat, I'm not liberal, I'm not conservative. I am ET futuristic. So that's what I am. I am type 3 civilization, futuristic, that's what I am. That has no space in the Democratic Party or in the Republican Party at all. And I feel sorry for everyone who is trying to make the world better, who has to adapt to their constituent party that they run under. I couldn't. I mean, even if I was somehow lucky to climb up the political ladder, which would never happen because they see me coming from afar as a do-gooder. They don't want do-gooders. No. No, you can only get in if you have a TV show, or you're an actor, or you're already famous and known and already built up your momentum. Then people will support you, and then that stands a chance, and then the corporate people will come and check you out to see if you will cater to their needs. So I will not cater to anybody's needs, and they know that. So I will cater only to the animals' needs. The pigs and the factory farms, okay, and the corporate agenda, they do not care if there are pigs suffering in gestation crates. No, they don't care about that. And they're also tethered together with the meat industry and all of that. And they don't want good Samaritans freeing the pigs. No. They want to keep people brainwashed and use their body image and their male body image to push the meat agenda. That's incredibly ridiculous. It's so sad, all of that. I don't have any other words to describe it. Oh yeah, it's pathetic, all of that. Eating meat has nothing to do with your masculinity. A lot of women, all the good women, all the kind women, let me just generalize here with this, or almost all good women, kind women, they would never trust a man who eats meat and identifies himself with that as a male image. They would never trust someone like that. They could never rely on someone like that. They think that's immature. And how can they trust and rely on someone who's immature? How in the world could they do this? They can't. So now I have a flower for my sweet, sweet angel friend Sandy. I have a meat flower for you, straight from the garden Eden of Stargate Galactica. And it smells heavenly. Absolute heaven on earth is this. But I don't keep it in this shape because we want to make a red astronaut out of it. Yeah, this is very important. That's an important endeavor, is that. So, let's get started with the astronaut. These are all very straightforward and simple shapes, but they are fun shapes. Very much fun. Very fun to make this. Very relaxing. Yeah, this is very relaxing. Oh, yes, baby dog, it's nice. It is a nice day today, and the rhododendron, they're coming out now in different pink shades, which is absolutely gorgeous. At the other house, we have complete red like this rhododendron tree, and they have all fallen off, or almost all of them have fallen off. And now the other one, the other rhododendron tree, the purple one, real deep purple color, wonderful, mysterious, like a witch purple color. That one has flowers right now, and many of them have also fallen off. I took a bunch of them with me in a pillowcase to this house because they look so awesome. I put them on the counter and I made myself tea. I'm making tea with that. I still have to make the tea later. I have to cook the water for it. So, but I already put the flowers into the tea kettle in the net, the herbal net that I made myself out of cotton, out of an old cotton t-shirt. It's very easy to make. You make a square, rectangular shape pouch, that you sew by hand, cut out of a t-shirt, sew together. Then you can cut a string of it, doesn't have to be a very long string out of that material. That doesn't even have to be sewn. And then you wash all of this by hand, and then you put flowers or plant pieces into it. What's beautiful about it is that even really small particles of plants, like this, for example, the confetti plant, the wire wine. The wire wine leaves, they're like the size of confetti. Like pieces like that, they won't get lost in it, and it doesn't come out when you pour it into your thermos mug. So it's very nicely bound in there, and it still has plenty of space to unfold its plant aroma and essences into the water. So that's very nice. Yeah, put that whole thing into a thermos can, large thermos can, thermos tea kettle, and you pour boiling water on it, and then you put the lid on, and then you let it sit for an hour or two, and then you can drink it, and it tastes fantastic. And you can do that with all kinds of amazing flowers. You can do that with Japanese maple leaves, with blueberry leaves, blackberry leaves and stems, all kinds, with ivy and all the rhododendron and the azaleas that are related to rhododendron. Okay, you can do that with all of those. That's all good for you. And the Pieris japonica, of course. The Pierre Jardin. Okay, the blue god plant, I call it. And it's very healing and very relaxing. Yeah, so when I go to bed, I think about all of these things, the corruption and the injustice and all of that. And I pray to the blue god to protect all living beings. And today I woke up angry, it doesn't feel good to be angry. I don't like it. But then I talk about it and I cry it out. And I do my activism and all of that. So I don't sit on it. I don't dwell on it. I flow with it. I surf with it, with those emotions. I'm an emotional surfer. The emotion surfer. Yeah. Yeah, when you surf with those emotions, then they flow, yeah, and they're not stuck. And you're not dwelling, you're not sitting on that. Like a pressure cooker. People sit on their emotions when they don't express them, when they don't talk about it to other people, to their loved ones. You have to be able to talk about these things. And if a person that you live with or you're close to, like family member, parents, and that's often the case, unfortunately, where the parents don't want to hear about they don't want to hear about their children's problems or feelings, then you should move out. You should find other people to spend your time with, okay, and to talk to about your emotions and to figure things out together. You're not stuck with your parents. I wasn't. I knew I wasn't stuck with my parents. The problem was I felt sorry for my parents. I felt sorry for my mother all the time. And my dad did too, and she knew how to make people feel sorry for her. I think that was very much, it was an act out of fear, all of this, I'm not trying to bash her. I know where she was coming from, yeah. But that was toxic. It wasn't working. It wasn't good. It wasn't good for my brother and me. It wasn't good for my dad. But what my dad did was really coward. He had another girlfriend, like lifetime girlfriend, like really soulmate partner, the whole time while he was still with my mother and still going on vacations with her and all of that. And I thought that was very coward. That was coward of him. He could have, and my brother even understood that. I think his psychiatrist told him that. that my dad should have divorced my mother and given her the chance to find another partner. And I didn't know about any of this back then. If I had known, I would have said, why didn't you go with that Günther, that other guy, the writer? So she always wanted someone like Günther, was an intellectual man with glasses. That's what she would have had. But no, she takes this playboy guy, slutty kind of guy. I don't understand. That's self-sabotage, is that, to say the least. And Barbara and my dad, they were cut out for each other, but much better. And Barbara's husband had a nervous breakdown because of that, because he caught them. I think he caught them in my dad's office, because they were sharing the architectural partnership with each other. They were architectural partners in my dad's office space. And after the other people left, one day, I guess he was making love with Barbara in his office. And Barbara's husband caught them in the act and had a nervous breakdown right there in the hallway, in the staircase. And they had to actually bring him to a psychiatrist. I mean, it's really awful, all of this. All terrible is this. This is all immature. Not from the side of Barbara's husband. He was just heartbroken. But for my dad and Barbara to cheat like that was just immature. They should have been very outspoken about it and public. I don't believe in marriage. They should have moved in with each other as girlfriend and boyfriend and left the other people alone, and given the other people a chance to live their own lives. And my dad thought my mother wouldn't make it on her own. He saw how mentally ill she was. But when I brought it up about my mother being mentally ill, he stood up for her, and I don't know what's this I don't understand any of this the way they think. I think it all has to do with ego and pride and all of that. That's really the ego. That's really an unfortunate mechanism that really stands in people's ways of living an honest and truthful life. It's the ego always. The pride. Pride is ego. Pride is very selfish and self-centered. Pride is never looking out for others. Pride is always looking out for ego and for social standing and those kind of things. That's not good. That's not maturity. That's not responsibility. So earlier I vented it out. I cried. And then I felt better. Then I was ready to make the video, because then I have I have energy. Then I have the energy to make a video. And the light is good right now, I like it. It's very nice. Very beautiful day today. Very sunny. It's a little bit chilly, but it's okay. I put my ski pants on later again. And my big Arctic jacket. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, I went shopping the other day and I went to the grocery outlet and I walked past the aisle, the dangerous aisle. You know what aisle I'm talking about, right? The very dangerous aisle. The candy aisle, yes. And suddenly there was Toblerone. Oh, different types of Toblerone shoved into my face. Okay, and Lindt chocolates. Oh, my favorite ones, all of those. And guess what? I smiled and walked past it and I did not take any of them because I said, all of that is full of lead and cadmium, and I don't want that in my precious brain because I need my brain to serve this vessel of life, okay? I don't want my brain to become more brainwashed, and that's, by the way, cadmium and lead, I think, are brainwashing metals. Very welcomed by the corporate agenda, shoved into your body, shoved into your face when you go shopping. It's pimped at you, literally. Yeah, no, I don't need it anymore. I have quit that addiction. And here's how you quit the addiction. You switch over to carob, okay? And it's good to eat raw carob pods, but that is probably not going to end your addiction because this is probably the best way to eat it, just to chew it down like that, like John Kohler. John Kohler, he is absolutely amazing, that guy. He has a channel called Grow Your Own Greens. I'm subscribed to him and I recommend everyone else to subscribe to John Kohler. Grow Your Own Greens. He is amazing. He tells you exactly how to grow your stuff. He has a carob tree. It gives these pods out and they are completely non-toxic. They don't have metals, cadmium. They don't have marijuana substance in it. They don't have any of these things in it. Okay. Everything that's in carob is good for you, including the seeds that are in those carob pods. All of it is good for you. Very nourishing, very healing, good for your skin, very, very good for your health. It lowers blood sugar, it lowers cholesterol. It has a lot of these bioflavonoids that are in flowers also, and other minerals. It's really good for you. And he made a video where he just ate it like this, and he said to him that's like eating chocolate, but much better, it's good for you and everything. But for the regular person, if you want to quit chocolate, that might not work for you because it doesn't have this, obviously, the creaminess that's in chocolate and all of that people are used to, the milky stuff. So what we do is we buy the Walmart coffee creamer, which is not ideal, okay, but it is the way out of cocoa products. It really is the way out. And we get organic carob powder. Raw carob powder is best. We get Terrestrials organic, lightly roasted carob powder. It tastes absolutely fantastic. The lightly roasted flavor is amazing. Okay, I don't recommend heavy roasted, obviously. If you get heavy roasted, or when it doesn't say lightly roasted, just roasted, then it probably has a flavor like malted coffee flavor. This one has a very, very slight coffee flavor, like a very slight mocha, but more like cocoa. It's very much like cocoa. It tastes very much like cocoa, the carob. Very, very amazing substitute, and it's good for you. Good for people that have diabetes. The coffee creamer obviously is not ideal, but it's the better way to go if you make yourself a carob drink. You heat up your coffee mug with water in it. You heat it up in the microwave oven, and then you put after it heated up, or you boil water and pour it into the coffee mug, and then you put 1 teaspoon of carob powder in it and approximately 4 teaspoons of the creamer. And you don't need to put sugar in it. You can put brown sugar in it too. That will make it even better. But you don't have to, because carob is naturally sweet. And obviously the coffee creamer from Walmart is also very sweet. It has sugar. It has some white sugar in it, which is not good. It has some milk particles in it, which is not ideal. But compared to all the other creamers, any other creamer that I have seen on the internet, the Walmart creamer, the Great Value Walmart creamer is absolutely outstanding, like way on the top, the winner. That's my Consumer Reports. So, but if I could talk to the CEO of Walmart, then I would discuss with him on how to wean the public of their white sugar addiction and make the world a better place. Okay, that's what I would do. The good Samaritan Nicola. Okay, that's what I would do. So I already wrote an email to Walmart it was just customer feedback on the internet. But I think I'm going to write a letter to the CEO and give him some of my really, really great Good Samaritan ideas. That would be awesome. I don't know if they even have time to see or look at all of these suggestions that will come from the public, but it doesn't hurt to try, That's how animal rights activism is based on. It's based on trying versus not trying. So that's really the philosophy. You have to at least try. And then through persistence, you can move mountains in the political worldwide. Okay, we have gotten the bear hunting outlawed in Russia. Okay, and we would not have gotten it outlawed if they had the wrong president like we have here. So, but they don't have the wrong president. They have the right president. They have a good president. Vladimir Putin. Okay, he's a good president. He's an amazing person. He loves animals, he cares. Okay. So we got brought that to his attention. He probably wasn't even aware of that, what they're doing to the bears in Siberia. Yeah. They do butcher tourism there and profit from it, and have hunters like Ted Nugent and James Hetfield, people like this, come there and shoot mother bears hibernating in their dens with their babies, and then leaving the babies orphaned. Those callous, brutal, I don't know, they're not right in the head, these people. Something is really not right with those people. So, and then also the ones that are telling them where the bears are, the hunters out there in Siberia, the Russian people that will tell butcher tourists where the animals are located. They're equally bad. I think these terrible people need to be head-bolted. That's my personal view on it. Everyone who betrays an animal like that should not live. That's my very unpopular opinion, but I don't care if my opinion is unpopular. Okay, I don't care. That's why I pray to the Blue God to bring us an ET spaceship, or 1,000 ET spaceships, or maybe should bring us 1,000,000 ET spaceships as soon as possible. 1,000,000 ET spaceships to come down here. Then there's no way this could ever be covered up again. No, that would be impossible to cover that up. Then there are too many people that have seen it. They can't all be crazy, right? No, that's not going to work. Oh, no. That'd be too difficult to cover all of that up. Then they'll have to come clean with what has already been going on. Okay. And the reason why they're covering these things up is because there are several corporate reasons for it. They want this futuristic technology for themselves. They don't want to share that with anyone else in the world because they want to have the upper edge. And that's why they reverse engineer these things, because they want to really wrap their heads around it. And also to keep the public in this mental state of gullibility and manageability and brainwashability. Okay, the wider public recognizes we have been visited and there are ETs out there. There are other civilizations out there that are even monitoring what's going on here. And they have much better technology, and they are much smarter than we are, and kinder. Many of them are kinder, maybe not all of them, but many of them are kinder. If they make it into a type 1 civilization alone, that's what Enrico Fermi was talking about, then they are not barbaric brutes and savages anymore. Okay, so that's what sets them apart from the savage humanoids here on Earth. So, and how people can possibly use this word humane. Humane is not that what it promises to be. Okay. If something is humane, I want to leave the room. Like, oh no, thank you very much. Or philanthropist. Or, yeah. humane. That's not that what they think it is. They think humane means kind-hearted. Paul, please don't fall in slow motion, okay? I don't need that to happen now. I already made a 40-minute video. I don't want to delete it. He almost fell in slow motion again. He fell in slow motion the other day, outside, right before the side door. He tripped over the floor mats that are outside. These floor mats are really there so that we don't trip. We don't trip and fall and slide, right? That's why they're there. But for Paul, that is really the reverse effect. And then the baby dog rushed right over, like the nurse that he is. He rushed right over and wanted to help Paul. He was like, what is going on here? Let me assess the situation. And I just stood there laughing, and that always makes Paul mad. Particularly when he has this sour look on his face. Obviously, if he was really hurt, I would go over and help him up and all of it, but he wasn't. But he's entitled and he feels victimized. Help me. I'm entitled to your help. But that's not that. That's when I laugh. Yeah, and that's what this is all about. You know, they want control over the public. The string holders want control over the public, over every single brain out there. That's what the whole thing is about. And I thought about sadistic behavior again when I woke up, and I realized it's all about a power game. It's a power struggle. And these people don't even realize that they are precious and that they don't need to victimize someone else. They don't need to victimize an innocent being, an innocent animal. But they feel ugly, okay? And it is out of that ugly feeling. And I'm not making excuses, okay? These people need to be head-bolted. I want to make that very crystal clear. But there should not be any lawyer. There should be no defense lawyer for those people. Okay. They don't deserve a defense lawyer. But not but in a sense of not a but. Not an excuse but in there. Okay. Only butthole. So no. There's a butthole explanation for this, but it's not an excuse. The explanation is they want power, and then they just let it out on another living being. And that's absolutely inexcusable, and it's unacceptable, and should never be tolerated worldwide. But we need to understand it. We need to at least try to understand it. And Teal Swan is trying to do this. She's trying to understand these people. She has been way too lenient with those people. She should not be lenient with them at all. Shouldn't give in to this and say, yeah, of course you had a rough childhood, or of course you want to feel better, or you want to feel better about yourself, so you victimize someone else. No, there's no excuse for this. And in any form, in any possible way, cannot be excused. It's unacceptable, needs to end. This behavior needs to end. It's not helping these people. It's not helping their lives. It's not getting them girlfriends. Most women find that appalling. when a man tortures an animal. It's disgusting, despicable, pathetic. That's what it is. Okay. So, but I want people to understand something, that every living being, including every hater, every person, every criminal, you need to understand something, that the way you are, your body, even your brain cells, your brain, everything, is precious and loved by the infinite cosmos. Okay. And once you really understand that, there wouldn't be a need anymore to be some tough-ass gang person who proves himself to be bad to their peer group or whatever. Bad as an identification, then comes masculinity in identification. That has nothing to do with masculinity. Same with meat eating. It has nothing to do with masculinity. So I can only pray to the infinite cosmos to bring us 1,000,000 ET spaceships. Boy, are things going to become interesting when that happens. When people are no longer making fun of someone who said they saw an ET. No, you're not going to make fun of those people anymore after that. Matter of fact is you're going to knock on those people's doors that you have made fun of, and you were shitting in your pants, and you're asking them for new pants and for a shower and for ducking into their basement for safety. That's what you're going to do. Because the ETs, they're going to come here, and they're going to, if they are more advanced, they're going to see a lot more than you think. They're going to see things just like the AGIs, just like the sentient robots are going to see everything. And maybe the ETs don't even come here in person. Maybe they send their robots, okay? That'll be very good too. Either way, I welcome them with open arms. Okay, my artwork is demonstrating this. I'm going to be making more and more and more ET spaceships, spaceship artworks. That's what I'm planning on doing. Because I welcome them with open arms. I pray for them to come here and free the pigs out of gestation crates, all pigs worldwide. Free them out of gestation crates. Yes, baby dog, he didn't like that. Whatever you did there, he didn't like this. Unhappy sound. Yes. That doesn't feel so good. Paul is always doing stuff with trying out different colors, and then the baby dog has to put up with that. He doesn't want the collar on here in the house, but Paul has nightmares of baby dog escaping, so he has to put the collar on with the name tag. With the phone number tag. But yeah, the deer trample down the fence sometimes, and that's a little bit risky. But I keep checking the fence. There are 2 places where the deer jump over, and sometimes they trample the fence all the way down to the ground. So I have to always check and make sure that the fence is up. Okay, I recommend that to other people as well. It's very important. So I saw something really, really, really incredible. Before we came back to this house, I saw something at the other house on the internet. I watch documentary films, And there are these amazing documentary films about real science, it's real precise. They have an unimaginable horizon of knowledge, and they're very precise, they're very professional. An older couple that are narrating these documentary films, and they probably they seem to be very knowledgeable archaeologists and paleo archaeologists and paleoanthropologists, I assume, because of the knowledge that they have. And they have probably traveled all around the planet and taken amazing photos and seen things. And they have gone to the pyramids of Giza, and they probably know all of those people. They know Erich von Däniken and Robert Edward Grant, and those real big players that are absolutely enthusiastic. Those are pyramid enthusiasts, those people, just like I am a hot spring enthusiast. They are pyramid of Giza enthusiasts, and they are absolutely excited about this, and I support them fully, with their passion. I am watching their videos. I'm excited about their videos. What they have already shown is exciting beyond measure. Particularly Egypt seems to be really a hot spot for those kind of paranormal phenomena that are occurring out there. Things that geologists cannot even explain. So this channel is called Universe Inside of You, or Universe Inside You, some title like this. And they're amazing. They're my absolute favorite of all. They're much better than the History Channel. So they're really professional. They have much more knowledge, and they don't shy away from those things that most scientists are staying far away from. They don't shy away from what people call controversial subjects, like ETs and paranormal activity and stuff that most scientists won't even touch because they don't want to lose their supporters, they don't want to be ridiculed, they don't want to lose their friends, and so on. And I find that very coward when people are putting their social standing over exploring and really honest exploration. So, but this couple, they put honest exploration over their peer group standing and so on, their popularity, whatever. But it's those type of people that are the most stable and the most persistent and consistent, and they will in time draw more and more and more and more followers and more people, because people see that they're not afraid of public ridicule and opinions and whatever. So they are very steadfast, very strong with this. So I've already watched a bunch of unbelievably fascinating documentaries that they have made, and it's a pleasure to listen to their voices. The man and the woman both have incredibly pleasant voices, and it is so well done and unpretentious, and no ego involved, no cultism vibe or any of that. Just very straightforward, scientific, very sober, and very straight to the point and very precise in their knowledge. So they have the video that really that's so fascinating me is the one that I watched before we came back to this house, and that's, I forgot the title now, but in that video I haven't even been able to watch all the way to the end because it was getting late and we had to go to bed. So when we come back, I'm gonna watch the rest of it. In this video, they are talking about like very rare and very unusual rock formations and rock material actually. So and the native tribes in the area were, for example, in Egypt and in more Central Africa. I think it was more Central Africa, where a light blue, sky blue, like this, literally the sky at the equator, the color of the sky at the equator. And there's a reason why the spaceship that came down there has exactly that color of the sky of the equator. For the exact same reason, or almost exactly the same reason, as some ocean animals will have a very light gray, even silvery underbelly, because it disguises them from the animals that are underneath, that are looking up. Okay, so in the same sense, you look up, you're in Africa at the equator, and you look up in the sky and you think, oh, there is something that looks kind of elliptical or cylindrical or spherical or whatever, or cubic, rectangular, but it is just exactly the color of the sky. So then you think, oh no, that must be just a cloud or something. So, and that's why, because they don't want to be shot down before they even get down there. So spaceship comes down, and that must have been 5,000 years ago, or maybe 15,000 years ago. And there was this native tribe living there, and they have very similar like dances and worship dances and stuff like this with feathers, just like the Native American, the original Native Americans had. And they do drumming and dancing through the drums, and they have made artifacts already for long time. And some of these artifacts have been carbon dated through this measure instrument that the scientists have, where they can trace back approximately the era from which any kind of artifact comes from. And I don't know, it's hard to do that with rock formations, but sometimes there are organic components embedded in the rock, okay, and they can find even some DNA particles embedded in it or something like this, and they will be able to carbon date that, because it's a specific technique to measure the carbon atoms that are in the structure, and through that they are able to approximately point back to the era, or approximately the era where it originated at. And so I don't know how they were able to, but some of these artifacts from the native people that were dated back by like 15,000 years, something like that, when all humans on Earth were living in a very Stone Age type of way, where they did not have modern technology and all of that. They had to carve themselves into the ground with pickaxes and certain hammers and stuff like this that they made themselves. So, but they were able to carbon date certain items back that had depictions of ET spaceships in Africa even, and also South America as well. And even Japan. Unbelievable stuff that has been going on. There are mega structures that scientists cannot understand. For example, the pyramids, and then some other what they call megalithic structures, they're like monumentally large. As there are cement and stone blocks that have the size of a 40-foot or 50-foot shipment container, and they are cut out with precision, not carved with chisel and hammer. Precision cuts, and it goes so far that they see precision cuts of certain rocks that are cut into absolutely geometrically precise forms only with a modern rock cutting, rock drilling machine, like a mining machine, only modern. But then it goes 15,000 years back before they ever had that, right? So where does this mining machine come from? So those are questions that really are coming to the surface now. And then, so I believe because of the depictions of UFOs and saucers and people standing next to it with goggles on, those are very old carvings and pottery artifacts from the people that have observed them, like 10,000, 15,000 years back. And then you want to ask the question, how do they come up with those shapes? What made them form this particular shape? And not only that, why is this particular shape made into a sculpture, not just in one region, but in many, many regions on Earth? So that's another question that really points at visitations from outer space. But then apparently it becomes really, really wild what's even happening here on Earth. That there's a possibility that there is another humanoid here on Earth that is absolutely not closely related to us either. So, and that humanoid has taken on another evolution, a parallel evolution to us, going all the way back to the Jurassic. So that's another thing that is, if you wrap your head around that, that's just, that's incredibly revolutionary information. If this becomes more and more and more researched and proven, then there will be a lot of people that they will have to question their religion and their brainwashing. They can't. So that's the other reason why, they are withholding a lot of that stuff. They're withholding also the other humanoid figures that have been seen by humans. It happens very rarely, but it happened. And those people will be ridiculed. Some of them are murdered, some of those witnesses. And the stuff is then becoming obscured. Certain cave entry points, also one in Slovenia, where someone had gone deep into a cave. The psychic, there is the psychic Vana or Vaga, I think is her name, from Slovenia. She told people that there are humanoids living in this particular cave. Okay, that goes down. And she told people, if you want to find out, then keep on digging into this pathway. And that's what one person did. And they saw a humanoid in there at the end of the tunnel. They were very afraid, and a reptilian type of humanoid. And I think it was actually one of their burial sites. It was a petrified, a mummified, just like in Egypt, I guess they have mummified there. And that was much dating much further back. That's probably dating back 150 or 200 million years back. So when the humanoids were at the stage of where humans were, let's say, where humans were about 50 or 100,000 years ago, or even further back. So I'm definitely not an expert on the numbers of years, but so they were at one stage where they mummified. They're probably not doing that anymore. So, but the question remains, have they become a good civilization? Have they become a type 1 civilization? Some of them say yes, the Draconians have, or the other lizard humanoids are not, and there are two types even of humanoids that are all different species that cannot even intermix unless they do gene splicing methods, which some people claim that may have happened. So, and yeah, I wouldn't be shocked about that either anymore. I mean, I'm very receptive now for all of this information fully, because why should that not have happened? So they're just as curious as scientific humans are. So what would hold them back from exploring further and doing something like the CERN accelerator and gene splicing and getting into nuclear energy and who knows what they're all getting into, in order to always have the upper edge, and which is probably one of the most urgent driving force that is behind it, which is not the right mind state, of course. The mind state of we need to protect ourselves and let's have the upper edge and all of that. It's not the most ideal mind state. That's not the Buddhist mind state. But yeah, they will all come to these stages, whether they evolved from very, very early dinosaurs and another evolved from a very early hairy reptile like we have, or whether there's another species that has evolved in outer space, that doesn't even have any origin of matter that we share with each other. So, or if they have an origin of matter, then it is stardust. So that led them through their evolution, because everything started with stardust, from dust to dust. So we come from stardust, we go back to stardust. Of course we are. And it's okay. And even this here will, yes. Even this will become stardust again, eventually, it will take some time, but it will. Well, this will decompose faster than my computer does, or my fingernail polish. Because this I think this has some organic components in it, like cardboard or something. This may have sawdust or something in it. Very highly pulverized. I like this material. It feels good in the hand. It's really nice. So anyway, they found one site out there in Africa, more towards Central Africa, where they found these tribal people, and they have passed on these amazing sagas or amazing telltales. And they cultivated those telltales through hieroglyphs and through artifacts and formation of things. And so they passed this on through art, basically, to the next generations. And they told the story that long time ago, like 15,000 years ago or so, there was an ET spaceship that came down there, and that had the color of the sky, extremely light, vibrant, friendly, this friendly light blue, this very toy blue, like a blue you would find in a toy store, like really. And this entire rock is that color. It doesn't have other little things in it, which most rocks have. They have pyrite and other stuff and other spots and stuff. This is like completely this light blue. And the scientists couldn't make sense out of it. They said, this is unbelievably lightweight. It's like a plastic material, but it's not. And it was fire resistant, and it's unbelievably strong. It cannot even be destroyed. So this is very fascinating material. Okay, absolutely ultra fascinating stuff that I hear on the internet. So I believe in all of that, and people don't have to believe in it. I believe this because it actually makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And so, and then one more story. There was a spaceship that came down that was somewhere in Italy. And that spaceship, when was it again? That Erich von Däniken talked about this story, and that was just absolutely fascinating. And it was not that long ago. And people there are very religious. They're very Catholic and all of that. And the ET came out and showed itself in the form of the Mary Magdalene, the mother of Jesus Christ. Floating, coming out of space, a floating craft, floating in the air above these people, about 10 feet above them. But made itself, shape-shifted itself into Mother Mary. And 10 people or so saw that. And this Mother Mary said to these people, your earth is in danger. And that was not the first time that ETs said that to people. Your earth is in danger, you need to do something about this. And then they left. The spaceship left. And these people, they reported this, and of course because of their religion, they were not as afraid. They thought that was Mother Mary that revealed herself to them and all of that. And then the Vatican, and they wrote a letter to the Vatican, and this letter had been concealed by the Vatican. And the reason why the letter had been concealed, the Vatican would tell people, these people have seen Mother Mary. They did not tell people that Mother Mary came out of a craft, out of a completely unidentifiable spacecraft. And why did they not tell people about this? Because if they told people about this, then their entire religion would fall down to the ground and crash. The entire religion would be finished. And the Vatican and their entire lies and they have an entire empire built on their religion of brainwashing and mind control and convenient mind control. That the entire mafia is that. That's the mafia. And they don't want to lose their followers by telling them, Mother Mary is actually an ET. So, and that's really interesting. And Mother Mary is not an ET. I think the real story, they just shapeshifted into this. But the real story of Mother Mary is she was a regular human who was lifted up into an ET. So that's what I believe at this point. And there she was artificially impregnated. And I think this probably happened several times, they extracted DNA from the person. They extracted DNA from their own bodies. They created a zygote with that, and they planted it into the womb of the woman, and she carries out a hybrid ET. That's an attempt probably to make humans smarter and kinder. I think that every time that happens is when the human species derailed into Sodom and Gomorrah, when they derailed, like they're right now, derailing into Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's why they're coming back. I'm very sure of that. Very sure. And they might even continue the artificial insemination and implanting of zygotes, of lab-created zygotes, to boost the gene pool and make people smarter and help them, kind of like helping a little toddler walk, you help them up again, sort of. And I think this has happened many times throughout history. And it seems to be happening in intermittent events, intermittent intervals of about 5,000 years in between. And I think it's due again. And that's also when the human species becomes insane, or any species becomes insane, then they come and they do this, and they help them get back on their feet in this way. I don't know, they're going to exterminate a lot of humans, but I don't know how we're going to fix it unless they exterminate some humans, or a lot of them. when they overpopulate and they put pigs into gestation crates where they can't turn around themselves for years. No, that's unimaginable torture. Okay, that cannot be accepted, and it's not going to be stopped unless the majority of humans are going to be eradicated. Okay, and then maybe they'll implant their own DNA again. I don't know, but we'll see what will happen. You will see. The pigs in the gestation crates, they have to be freed one way or another. Okay, so peace out.